This is all valuable information. You just don't want to bombard them right at the front and impact your conversion rates. Hey everyone, welcome to Ontraport Use Cases. My name is Sam, and today we're going to be talking about how to gain lead intelligence with progressive profiling. So what we're essentially talking about is a lead acquisition technique that enables you to gradually build intelligence on your captured leads using brief, iterative forms over time to avoid friction in the conversion process. So that's a mouthful, right? Don't worry, I'm gonna break this down for you really simply. You know how on a lot of pages for an opt-in, you just ask for first name and email address or just email address, whatever it is. Then the idea there is you wanna keep the questions as minimal as possible. And this is one of the reasons why you would wanna do this. You wanna keep those questions as minimal as possible to increase your conversion rates, right? Asking somebody 30 questions on their initial opt-in form, you're not gonna see a ton of opt-ins because people are just gonna get over it halfway through. So instead of doing that, what we want to do is ask them questions over time, because the intelligence that we're getting from our customers and our leads about whether or not they're qualified for our product, what their biggest pain point is, this is all valuable information. You just don't want to bombard them right at the front and impact your conversion rates. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so why would you want to do this? So the first one we've already sort of talked about a little bit, but you want to increase conversion rates without pestering leads, right? So nothing's worse than coming to an opt-in form for an ebook or something like that and seeing a big form with like 30 questions on it. I'm out. I'm not going to fill it out. Alternatively, if I see a form that's just like first name and email address, okay, fine, it's low impact. I can just fill this out really quick and move on with my day. But what we're gonna talk about is how to get that information on the back end of that form, so I'm still getting the valuable information, just not up front. Okay, number 2, improve overall user experience. So one really great use of this, and we have an example of it in just a sec, but one really great use of this technology is to increase your overall user experience for both your customers and your leads. By learning more about them, you can serve them more of the content they like, or more of the products that they like, or whatever your situation is. Okay, 3, build fuller profiles on your leads and customers. So this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, but it never hurts to know more about your leads and customers. And this is just one great way to get that information. And finally, qualify your leads and nurture them to a sale. So over time, if you have a long lead cycle, right, between the point when they opt in and the point when they purchase, you can be asking them questions which qualifies them for your product over time. Not only qualifies them in your eyes, right? You see, oh, hey, their biggest pain point is something that I can help them with my product, but also in their eyes, it kind of sets the tone for the conversation and the transaction that's going to take place. Oh, hey, it turns out I actually do need this thing by asking them these questions. Okay, so that's the what and why. Let's move into the examples. So the first one we have here is customer onboarding. So this is kind of a clever use of it. A lot of people, when they think about progressive profiling, they're thinking about lead generation. This is a great one because it's actually after not only they became a lead, but after they made a purchase. So, and this is good because too many people focus too much on marketing. I know I'm the marketing guy, but it's important to deliver great experiences as well. So they purchase a product, right? They come to your website and they purchase a product. And for the case of this example, let's think about this as if we're doing an online music teaching business, right? We teach people how to play instruments. So somebody buys our product, our instrument pack or whatever. They come in, they get an email that says, hey, thank you so much for signing up for my website. Can you do me a favor and fill out a quick customer survey so I can better serve you, right? And that gives you a link to a page. Now, the good news here is we don't have to ask them for their name or their email address because we already have that information, right? So we can use a PURL, which we have a use case on separately if you're curious about what a PURL is. We can use a PURL so that the information is appended to their contact record without them having to re-identify themselves, which is really great. And maybe on that survey, we're asking them a question that's like, hey, what instrument do you want to learn first? Guitar with option A, bass with option B, or drums with option C. And depending on which one they select from the drop-down window or whatever, we can have a different follow-up funnel for each one of those options. So if they select guitar, we can have a couple emails that say, hey, great, I'm so glad you're interested in guitar. Here are some lessons I would start with and link to your membership site or whatever. Or in the case of bass, awesome, bass is great. Here's some great lessons for that. Drums, you get the idea, right? So this is just one way you can use progressive profiling to deliver just an extraordinary customer experience. All right, next up is more lead nurturing, right? So if we have a list, leads who have opted in before, and we're gonna hold a webinar, maybe a sales webinar, right? And we add them to a sequence, a lead nurturing sequence where this webinar takes place, we can send them an email that says, hey, we're holding a webinar next Thursday, and we'd love for you to come. Click on this link to register, right? They click on that link and they visit the registration page. Now again, because they're already on our list, we don't necessarily have to ask them to re-identify themselves with an email address, but what we can ask them instead is a pre-webinar survey. We can ask them a series of questions about what we're going to talk about on the survey to either frame the conversation better or to learn more about them and how qualified they are for our product. So a really powerful tool. Then those survey results are added to the contact record automatically because we already know who they are. So that's a great example of how to use it sort of in a lead nurturing. Not necessarily, they're not a customer yet, right? We're just sort of warming them up to become a customer. And that's just 2 examples, right? A lot of this stuff is for lead capture. You can do things like have a basic opt-in form, just name and email address, and then on the thank you page, ask some more questions to try to qualify, because it won't affect your conversion rate on that first page, and you might get juicy information on the second page. So for more information about this, please read on. We got tons more examples just like that. We got tons of videos just like this one on different topics, including the one about pearls, which is gonna be really useful for these examples on the board here. And we'll see you next time.